Hi there, this is Kaushik Ranchod. Welcome to our weekly immigration show. Today I want to share some fantastic, great news. You'll want to stay tuned. It is about DACA. My name is Kaushik Ranchod. I represent clients throughout the 50 states. And if you haven't already, smash that like button because it helps people like you make sure that they get these important videos. So, what we're going to talk about today is an update on what is going on with DACA. A final rule has been implemented, and we're going to talk about what does that mean. So make sure you watch till the very end because we're going to just be giving you these important updates. What this final rule does is it preserves and fortifies DACA. For individuals who are eligible for DACA, what it does is it helps defer the removal. It also provides 2 years of work authorization as well. If you're eligible for DACA or have already received DACA, allows you to continue to renew your work authorization. What I'm going to discuss further in this video is, well, what if you don't have DACA yet and you want to apply? DACA has been a great policy. It's helped over 800,000 people, and it's helped many people like you who are doctors, nurses, teachers who are contributing to the United States, making our country a better place. And this final rule codifies that. It takes into account the positive impact that all of you are making. So this, in my opinion, is a big win because it is taking into account all the positive factors that all of you are making and fortifying this rule. However, this DACA, as you may know, is not a cure-all. It just basically defers removal. It provides you with work authorization, but it really doesn't provide you a long-standing solution in order to be able to get a green card, to be able to stay in the United States permanently. So this is a win, yes. At the same time, Congress does need to take action for all of you to be able to get a lawful status, to be able to get work authorization. And many of you who are coming in for consultations, we're talking about, well, are you eligible for I-601A waiver? Are you eligible for other types of relief? Because we know that DACA is only a temporary solution, and you want to explore other types of options while you're in DACA because it's great. While it does help defer removal while you're able to work, it's not going to solve the long-standing problem until Congress steps up and does something, and they have not been doing that for many years now. So it's indicative upon yourself to take action, to take responsibility if you're eligible to be able to get a lawful status. And the I-601A waiver is for unlawful presence where you entered without inspection. If you're like some of our clients who've been on DACA and then they end up marrying a US citizen or a lawful permanent resident, the I-601A waiver may be a good option for you. Getting off on a tangent here, just want to make sure that you are thinking about all of your options, looking at your life proactively so that you can get to a lawful status and be in the United States without having to worry about what your next steps are. Okay, so you might be asking, what does this rule do? Well, the rule continues the long-standing 2012 memorandum that was put forth by USCIS. Let's talk about the nuts and bolts of the rule. What it does is it maintains the existing threshold of the DACA requirements, and I'm going to discuss that 2012 memos after I talk about what the specific announcement and rule that has been set forth now does. What it also does is it creates the same process for you to be able for DACA holders to get work authorization, so that process will remain the same. What it does is it also affirms the long-standing policy that while DACA is not a lawful status, which we talked about earlier, that you are considered lawfully present as a DACA holder for certain purposes. What I like about DACA is this form of deferred action and work authorization, and acknowledging that many of you never been to your home country. You've been here all of your life, so there needs to be taken action. It wasn't your fault that you entered without a visa. What I don't like about DACA is it's not a permanent solution. The final rule will go into effect in October 2022. Specifically, it'll go into effect October 31st. Now, what's important to note that there is an injunction July 2021 from a U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Texas, and that remains in effect. There's some misinformation that's out there about this final rule, about initial DACAs, and I actually saw this on a well-reputed news source, but this final rule does not provide initial DACAs. So it's only addressing renewing DACAs. Because of that injunction by that Texas District Court, new DACAs cannot be issued at this time with this new rule. However, you can still get renewal requests. Okay, now let's go back to the 2012 memorandum and the requirements for DACA. In order to qualify for DACA, you have had to come in before the age of 16. You needed to have been in the United States 5 years before the issuance of the memorandum. You also need to have graduated from high school or had a GED equivalent. And basically what I'm summarizing for you is that 2012 memorandum that was cited in the new rule. Or if you also were currently in school or honorably discharged as a veteran of the Coast Guard or Armed Forces of the United States. Importantly, and this is an issue that also comes up with a lot of renewals, and that could be an issue for you when you come up with renewals, and these are criminal issues. You cannot have been convicted of a felony offense, a significant misdemeanor offense, multiple misdemeanor offenses, or pose a threat to national security. So these factors are coming up with renewals, and it's very important that you meet these requirements when you're applying for a renewal. I highlighted the main requirements set forth in that June 2012 requirements. Not an exhaustive list, but I discussed the main requirements. So now that you know what was referred to in the current rule, because it's always good to look back at what historically is being referenced so you have perspective on what's happening now. The memo also discusses in 2012 the exercise of prosecutorial discretion in removal proceedings. We're not going to get into that in this video. We did talk about how if you're in DACA, it is considered now, it is codified as a form of lawful status. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This is great news. We hope that Biden continues to make these changes. What we've seen is that Biden is making incremental changes, attacking things here and there. We hope that we didn't see immigration reform as we would have liked to have seen it. Hopefully the Biden administration will make up for it by having these additional nuanced changes to immigration law. Make sure that you stay informed, so subscribe so you get the latest updates. Share this with your friends so they're also informed as well. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. You are truly amazing. And by bettering yourself, by educating yourself, by watching these videos, you're bettering yourself, you're bettering your family, and you're bettering our world. See you next time. Bye for now.